Ladies and gentlemen, g'day. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Economics Mate, and welcome back to Reforged. Oh my god. Boy, is this Ultra Test 2 has a lot of things to cover. And I've already sort of covered all the main things that have gone on Reforged, but one thing that has left a sour taste in my mouth is sets. Okay, beside keys are a whole different issue. And I desperately want to make a video talking about keys again, because I need to. Sets. Can I just say, I tried my best to like sets. I really did. I really tried my best to like sets and the way Wargaming have done it in a tech tree format. I really tried my best to like it. But I can't bring myself to do it. There are certain... there are a number of people who are stating that, no, Wargaming, their aim for sets is to make it easier and less complicated for people, for newer players, when they start the game, so they know what they're doing. And I disagree wholeheartedly with them. I'm not going to name who they are, but I disagree so much with them. This is not a easy-to-follow structure. Are you telling me that because they put it in a tech tree style, it's going to work? It isn't. Like, this isn't even a tech tree style. I was trying to like it. I really was trying to like it. But I can't bring myself to liking it. It's just... you have to scroll this way, you got to scroll that way, you got to scroll the other way, and if I put premium and collector tanks, bloody oath, look at this. It's like you're on a world map. Look at this. How does any of this make sense to someone who's new to the game? They have no idea what is going on. What is wrong with what we have already in Blitz, with tech trees? What's wrong with tech trees? Wargaming are insisting that tech trees are too difficult to follow. Guess what? Do you know when? You know what? Another time when they said tech trees were too difficult to follow. You want to hazard a guess what update that was? Update 5.5. Do you remember update 5.5? If you're old enough and you've been playing the game for long enough, you will remember update 5.5 and the absolute controversy which that was, and the shit show that was. They removed basically every single lower tier tank that had variety, which is where the vintage tier comes in. Here, the vintage sets, right? See the vintage tanks right here? All these tanks? Yeah, they're vintage tanks. These tanks were in the tech tree. A lot of these tanks were in the tech tree, apart from obviously those that were premiums before. But a lot of these tanks were in the tech tree. You had tank destroyers, medium tanks, light tanks. You had multiple tanks to choose from at tier 2, at tier 3, at tier 4. And Wargaming removed so many of these lower tier tanks. Why? Their reasoning for it? It was too difficult for newer players to play because they were, too confused as to which tank line they'd like to go up. If anything, 5.5 was bad because having a tier 2 tank destroyer for the Soviet line, for instance, like the T-18 for the American tank destroyer, it was good. It was good because it taught us how to play tank destroyers. It gave us the opportunity to learn how to play a tank destroyer, right? A light tank at tier 2, again, a medium tank at tier 2, and then a heavy tank at tier 3. You learned how to play these tanks simultaneously. Like, it just boggles my mind that Wargaming thought it was a good idea to get rid of them. And again, the reasoning for that was, no one really plays lower tiers and it's too difficult for new players. Well, guess what? Look at where we are now. They're giving us this. This is what they call tech trees to them. This is a tech tree, to Wargaming. This is what we mean by we wanted the tech tree back. This is confusing. Droodles said it best. You may disagree with Droodles as much as you want. You may not like him, okay? That's your choice, okay? But you can't deny he is correct about sets. You cannot deny that he speaks the truth when it comes to sets and how bad sets are. Like, I don't understand. It's not difficult for Wargaming to just take what we have in Water Tank Blitz right now and transfer all that data and all the UI and all the tech trees and all this kind of thing onto Unreal Engine 5 and spruce it up, make it look better, make it look cooler, give all the maps PBR, Keep the maps as they are. I quite like the maps right now. The tank designs, I quite like them. You know, all these little, the physics and whatnot, that's good. These are good things from Unreal Engine 5, but things like this, don't mess with the tech trees. Don't mess with them. Don't say that tech trees are difficult to follow. They are not difficult to follow. They are very easy to follow. Okay? It's literally a steady line. I start at tier 1, I go to my tier 2, I go to my tier 3, and then from tier 3 I can choose between 1 or 2 tier 4s, and then branch off there, and then from tier 5 I can choose between however many number it is for tier 5. It's not difficult to follow. It's a tried and tested aspect of the game. It's been in the game for 11 years. In Water Tanks PC, tech trees have been in the game since 2010. In War Thunder, they have a similar thing. It's a tech tree / BR system. Very similar. Very, very similar to Water Tanks PC. World of Warships, Blitz. So many different tank games have tech trees. So why is it that now Water Tanks, Blitz, and Wargaming, they want to reinvent the wheel by giving us sets? Can I just, again, I'm a broken record when I say this. We never asked for sets. Had Wargaming asked for our opinions and asked for our feedback and whether or not we think this idea would be good or not, we would have told them, no, this is a shit idea. Do not go through with this. And yet, there are still people that want to argue with me and say that, no, I am wrong, okay? And sets are actually good for the game. They're actually a good addition. No, they're not. We don't need sets. Wargaming, please do yourselves a favor. Listen to your player base. The majority of the player base are telling you sets are bullshit. Get rid of them. They are too confusing. But then they'll be like, oh yeah, but the new players, they're not going to see all this stuff. Listen to me. They are going to see it. Trust me. They will see this bullshit. They'll be like, what is this? What's all this? Like, look, some of these sets make no sense whatsoever. Like, some of these sets, you're starting at a tier 5 and you're making your way up to a tier 7 or a tier 8. Does that make any sense to you? Why would you even bother grinding that set then? Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like this one right here. SU-100M1 and SU-101 all the way to the Object 263. Like, okay. And what about the tanks before that? What about the SU-100 before that? What about the SU-85 before that? Or the SU-85B before that? What was wrong with those tanks? And branching out from those tanks? Like, do you see where I'm trying to get at here? Do you see where I'm coming from? Like, look at this, right? You start at the IS, you make your way to the IS-3, and then the IS-8, and then the IS-7, and then for some reason the Object 260. Like, some of these sets don't make any sense. They just don't. They just don't, and they do not need to be where they are. Like this here, right? An SU-130PM on its own. It's on its own in a set. Why? Have a look. It's on its own with the Spukt, the Stubborn Emil, the Nashorn, what do you call it? The Borsig, the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV, the Grill A15. Why are these tanks here? This is clearly a German lightly armoured tank destroyer line. Why the frick do we have a Czechoslovakian tank destroyer and a Soviet tank destroyer in this line? And why do we have a WZ Blaze, a Chinese tank destroyer? Why is this here? Oh, because they play the same. No. You're just confusing the player base by including tanks in tech trees that don't need to be there. Why are collector tanks and premium tanks in sets? Why are they in the tech tree line? They just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's just, you can't make sense of this situation. So please, Wargaming, listen to our feedback. You listen to our feedback on certain things. You listen to the feedback and the fact that sets were too confusing and then you made them into a tech tree style. Guess what? They're still confusing. If anything, they're even more confusing now. We have to do this bullshit. Like, what's this? What's this? How is this helpful? Tell me, how is this helpful? It's not. Get rid of sets. End of story. That's it. This is what the player base wants. The player base are your consumers. If you don't listen to your player base, guess what's going to happen? No one's going to want to play your game. Literally no one's going to play your game. Trust me. So please, Wargaming, listen to your player base. And yeah, just get rid of sets. They're useless in Blitz. They're completely useless. Just bring us back our tech trees, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.